when you see a black person, then what goes through your mind?
I hardly see any here.
Ah.
There are so few here that
In Thanet.
There's no reason to have any contact with them. And somebody had a conversation with me over the phone yesterday, late after the programme, and I said exactly the same thing. We choose our social friends by virtue of our habits and our likes and dislikes.
Sure.
And I would say that my 3 close friends are dog lovers and they're smokers. But there are I can't even think of anywhere in Thanet where there are any. And it's not because I choose to live here because of that.
No.
My parents brought me here when I was 3, and I've lived here ever since. And I really wouldn't want to live anywhere else. I love it.
Right. Yes. No, that came across in the documentary. And of course you're perfect at liberty. And if you like dogs and you like a smoke, why shouldn't you hang out with other people? It's just what my listeners I think are struggling with. Is when you see someone, to use your expression, with negroid features, what is it that you're thinking? I appreciate you don't see that many, but do you think that you're going to get attacked? Do you think that you're not going to get on? Do you think that... I mean, what goes through your heart?
I just don't want to look.
Don't want to look?
It's really quite strange, and I wish I knew. I really do wish I knew why.
Yes. I
honestly don't know.
No, and one of you...
I certainly don't have a fear. I don't live my life in fear.
No, absolutely. Would you ever want to go to a part of the country where there were more black people and perhaps mix with them to try and tackle this? Is it something you'd be keen to try and address?
I wouldn't want to address it in that way.
Right.
But I have been to, obviously, I've travelled and I've been to other parts of the country. I went sailing in the Caribbean, for instance.
Well, how was that for you? That must have been...
okay.
Was it? I mean, presumably you saw a lot of... I would imagine you saw a lot of black people in the Caribbean. Last time I was... last time I was there, I did. Well, weren't you riven with fear?
No.
Well,
no.
what was... So you get off the boat, and there's loads of folk, presumably black fellas and black women. What are you thinking then?
Nothing in particular. It's their country.
Is that it, do you think?
No, I don't think it is.
Oh, right.
I don't think it is, but if you go to another country, you should adopt their ethos, shall we say.
Sure.
So, for instance, if you go to France, you'd expect to hear French spoken, for instance.
Sure, absolutely.
And you expect to see snails on the menu, whether you like them or not.
Yeah.
The same way you go anywhere. I mean, for instance, I went to Croatia not long after the Balkan Wars, and the people there were very, very distrusting, and it was very difficult to form any sort of communication with them because they were so distrustful of strangers.
Right.
And quite rightly so, when our tour guide opened up to me and explained to me why. So it's just something that I just accepted it. In fact, we laughed at one of the guys working down on the marina because he sang all the time. He sang. It was really quite comical.
Right. This was a black fellow, is it, or Croatia? Where are we? Was this Croatia or the Caribbean?
No, this was the Caribbean.
This was the Caribbean. Right.
Yeah.
What, he was singing sort of calypso songs or something like that, was he?
No, he was just singing all the time.
Just singing all the time. Couldn't stop him.
Yeah, and it was lovely to hear.
Right.
So no, fear doesn't come.
And presumably, you know, your hotel or your restaurants, there were black people eating in the restaurants there?
Yes.
Because you wouldn't want to go to a dinner party with a black person?
Not by choice.
Except when you're in the Caribbean?
It really is a problem for
It is, isn't it, councillor?